3:33 on April 26th, 2026. What's up, everybody? This is the Grit Call. Uh, I'm pumped, but my son is upstairs asleep, so I'm going to try to contain my excitement and not get yelling too loud because I don't want to wake Jack up because that would make my night a lot longer because he would be cranky and just not the type of kid that you'd want to hang out with when you're with your daughter and your son and your wife's out of town and you've been with them all week. You want your son to sleep for as long as he can and just be a good kid and do what dad says. So that's why I'm talking a little bit hushed, but I don't want to wake Jack up. My daughter went with a neighbor, so I am able to concentrate on this call, but I am everyone that I can see at least gets what I'm doing. Why I'm not yelling. But I see Bryson's ready to take notes. I see a lot of you guys are in the car. Some of you guys are chilling at home. But Sunday, Blazers game. Vince was there, so Vince messaged me and let me know. It was, I don't know if you guys, I know a lot of you guys were working out with Grit, but the Blazers pissed down their leg. It was bad. It was bad. It was not up 17 at half and just lost by 20. So I don't know how many of you hadn't seen that. I didn't mean to ruin it if anybody had it recording at home, but there's a few expressions that I can think of when I think of how they handled the game after half. I don't know who else is listening or who might be listening to this on replay, so I'm not going to say some of the words that I'm thinking about, like what you do to the bed when you lay an egg like they did. You the bed, and they did it. The last two games, Blazers not closing well in the second halves. Anyways, it's good to see everybody that's on the call. If you're watching on replay, thanks for watching on replay. But we have this weekend off of games, so hopefully not off completely of ball. Hopefully you still have been able to get in the gym. I know some of you guys that are up this way were in there today, but next week I'm 90% sure that the 15th through the 17th will be at the Beaverton YMCA, just like last time. So I think that's cool. Hopefully there's a little more like overlap. I know a lot of the guys didn't get to see some of the 16s because they were later. So hopefully there's a little more overlap. But as soon as I get the schedules, obviously I'm going to be dropping it in the WhatsApp. Make sure you're checking the WhatsApp. Just even if it's just like once, if you say, well, I don't have the notify when I get an alert or whatever, check it once a day just to make sure because I do post in there and hopefully you guys all saved the program standards. Hopefully you're saving a lot of the graphics and things to your camera if you have an iPhone. I don't know what it's called and an Android. Curtis has an Android photo album, picture camera roll. Hopefully you've been saving those. I don't know, Landon's smiling because he knows that he's a green bubble guy himself. But I think if you download them or save them in a place, I would print those out. Just to remind yourself, I think a lot of you guys last week, we talked a little bit about it, but maybe we're overestimating how many of the things you were doing out of the 20. Um, but I think for the most part, we were huddling. Calling ball from the bench was very poor. And I know it's our first weekend, so that's why we're talking about this. And that's why I want you to look at those standards uh, and try to live by them. I mean, that's something that I have. The pictures don't lie, fellas. Like, I mean, so some of you guys are on the bench and look kind of lackadaisical. we don't want to be thought of as a lackadaisical team. So when you're chilling on a Sunday, having the body language like Elliot Kirby has, that's cool. Like I don't mind that. But when you're on the bench, you got to be engaged. So that's why we have you call ball. It's that way you stay involved in the game. And I say it a lot, but even if you're not in the game, you still got to be in the game. Like the games are only like 50 minutes. So like be locked in that entire time. And I know there's lots of distractions. You got Maggie grabbing your hand. You got Jack looking up at you, shy, but balls bouncing, balls going missing. There's all sorts of crap just going on, but stay focused during the game and stay involved. So I know some of you guys didn't get everything that you wanted as far as playing time. So I would say come back in shape. If you played enough, then, uh, or if you feel like that you had more left in the tank, play harder when you're in the game. Because I want you guys to play hard, take a break, and then come back in, but maximize the moments that you get, the minutes that you get. So that's where I talk a lot about as a walk-on that I worked really hard to be the worst player, but I did get to play because I just was always waving a towel, high fives. And then so if you're not getting what you want, and this could be with grit, it could be in your high school team this next season. Well, do what James did, which is get yourself in the game on the road in the playoffs and go 4 for 5 from three. That's one thing you could do. But the other thing is just look like you want to get in the game. So some of those photos that I saw, there's some of you that kind of had like on the bench like this. And some of you guys don't have that body language, but if you do, I want you to look more engaged, and that's why we do call ball. That's why we sometimes will, you're chatting. You should be communicating the whole time. You have to communicate. We say that a lot, but then we're not always doing it. So I want us to really emphasize huddling on free throws. I want to huddle anytime you can get together quick, get to your spot. Calling ball. Those are just the two that like obviously helping their teammates up if they dive. Um, but I want to see us really work on those things. So uh, let's see. So I get the schedule Friday night. We're at Visitation Catholic School. So take note of that. There might have been something released early that would have said the Riverside High School where we had that practice 2 weeks ago, but it's not there. It's at Visitation Catholic School, which is in Forest Grove. So it's kind of out near Pacific. It's where the guys worked out today. But if you're listening to this, take note, tell mom and dad, tell whoever's, if you're driving to the gym, don't drive to Riverside High School. I think the most updated says visitation, but just making that known. So I will be obviously posting in the WhatsApp, but you guys need to know that that's not where we're at. We're at Visitation Catholic, and then Saturday, Sunday, most likely we're at the Beaverton YMCA. Wednesday night will be at Visitation also. Thursday will be in Medford. Like I said, Friday we will be in Visitation. I'm just double checking to make sure that that's what this says. Today is April. Yes, this one I'm looking at says Riverside High School. So make sure that that it is not that it is not at Riverside High School. It is at Visitation Catholic School. So I will say that again, but if you show up at the other place, that's on you. And you will miss practice and not start on Saturday because you'll be pissed that you didn't watch this video or you're not paying attention right now. Well, pretty sure everybody's faces that I'm looking at is gonna be in the right place. Um, Mental training is due Monday night. So make sure you get all the way through the lessons by Monday night. We will be discussing those on Tuesday on the Zoom call. And I know a lot of you guys are anxious for the weekend, so you're wanting to get in the gym. Try not to schedule your workouts 6 to 7 on Tuesday nights. And I know some guys have limited availability, and sometimes it's when you can get in the gym. But if you can, try not to schedule your workouts during the grit call or study groups with your classmates. Or, I mean, I get it if it's something else, but if you're golfing, I understand that. If you're um, at a track meet, I understand that. But just try to do the best you can to be at the calls. Obviously, the guys that are here now, you're prioritizing the meeting on this Sunday, but try to be at the calls because that's where we communicate these changes. That's where we talk about what's happening. So make sure that you take note of that. But mental training, and then we have, let's see, Coach Willis just is here. Coach Lunt's in the gym today watching volleyball. If you don't know, his daughter plays volleyball at Forest Grove High School. She plays club volleyball. So when he's not in the gym with hoops, he's watching a lot of volleyball. But still thinking about that Blazers loss. That was a bummer. So learn from that stuff. What's a good, even in the NBA, you guys, like the Blazers are they came out of the halftime and gave up a 13-0 run. And they were still taking some quick shots. They turned it over. And if it starts spiraling, it can go bad. That's why you have to, I think, was it Elliot or one of the guys was talking last week. Um, First thought might be negative. Maybe was James that recollect or recalled this. Like your first thought might not, it might be negative, but then that doesn't mean the second one has to be. So that's why you have to work on like, okay, I made a mistake, but they were making poor decisions, the Blazers during that stretch. And so obviously when it's a 6-8 10-0 run, that's when you got to get a really good shot. That's when you got to get to the foul line and get a free throw. Like you can't go be on a down an 8-0 run and then take a quick three. If you're going on a 6-0 run, it's different. And that's something that I see a lot of in like just watching those games and watching them on Game Changer and replays. Time and score situation. What's a good shot when it's a good shot when you're on a 6-0 run, might not be a good shot if you're down a 6-0 or 0-6 run. Coach Willis, are you there?
Starbucks.
Yeah.
Maybe it's working. Coach Willis, we can hear you. What's up?
Man, just driving back from Seattle.
How was the tourney this weekend? Or was it just yesterday?
It was this weekend. It was Saturday and Sunday. It's like a tournament. It was a showcase, but it was like a tournament format. So I coached the Southwest Washington team. Grant from our 17-year-old team was on that. And a couple other guys from, like Camas or Prairie, Vancouver area type guys. Saw Rue playing there on the Tri-Cities team, and a couple other grit family players like Swanee was playing as well on that Tri-Cities team. And no, it was good. I think that you're kind of spot on with what you're talking about right now. We lost our first game by 2 points, just off of poor closeouts and lack of rebounding, you know, and kind of rallied and played better the next 3 games and won the next 3 games um, by at least 2 to 3 possessions each time. But it's just a matter of like not executing those small things, those minor details that have a major impact. But I thought it was a good event. Um, I had never been to that before, so this was my first experience even going up there, up to Mount Si High School, which is a beautiful place, beautiful countryside. Saw a pretty cool waterfall, coach, after the game on
Waterfalls.
Saturday. Um, but no, it was a good time. It was dry, sunny, which is
Nice.
different for that
Take
area.
advantage of those days. Heck yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so no, it was good. It was a good time. Lots of college coaches. Um, I probably saw like 8 different ones, while I was in there. So it's good time, good event.
Nice. Yeah. Did anybody see the end of the Rockets game the other night?
Of course, I did.
Well, I'm just, I love you, John. That's why I'm giving you this moment. Because if you didn't see it, and if you didn't know, Coach Willis really has strong feelings about how good the guy is that plays for the LA Lakers. And the Houston Rockets were up six
Thanks.
with 27 seconds, and they turned it over. They fouled. They did everything you could do to lose the game, and they did. They lost the game if you didn't see. Houston went down, and LeBron had a steal and did some other stuff that made his team come back. But I don't know. Coach Willis, did you see that game?
Of
Coach Lyon?
course, of course I did. I thought LeBron actually looked gassed and tired down the stretch there, but he did come up with a big steal, picking the ball up in the backcourt. We talk about touching somebody in transition, which he did, and then he hit a dagger three right in front of the Houston bench. I mean, you've heard of the Mona Lisa, right? That was probably just as beautiful.
I've never seen the Mona Lisa, and that was picture at. I mean, the way he had left it hanging, I get it. I get it, John. But he's not going to be the GOAT. Coach Lunt, can you weigh in on this?
Yeah, I just was really disappointed with LeBron not sprinting back on D, which gave up a point or 2 points to probably the slowest guy on the floor. And then he also comes out of a timeout, drawing up a play, and he turns the ball over. So I don't think it goes to 6 if he's not sprinting back on defense,
That's
and
true.
if he takes care of the basketball, especially after a timeout when a play's drawn out. That's not a good look. So
No.
Marcus, I appreciate Marcus Smart. I think Marcus Smart is the MVP of this series, and all the things that he's done, the small things that I think go unnoticed. But yeah, I was very disappointed in LeBron.
He had 2 key turnovers, 2 huge turnovers in the last minute. So
He did. It would have been a lot closer of a game had he not played as poorly as he did, trying to set himself up to be the hero, which he kind of did, but
Team grit. If you want to watch a lack of hustle, just watch the play where LeBron gets beat by the slowest person on the floor because he can't sprint back.
Sango.
It's absolutely embarrassing.
Yeah. Yeah, he's got to get back. You are right, Coach Lunt. Oh, you are absolutely correct. It's a good thing he
Hey,
made that three though, because if he didn't, been over in
he did.
regulation.
He did hold his follow through.
How about
Yeah,
Coach? How about the pass that Marcus Smart stole? Like, why even pass the ball there?
That's why he's the MVP of the series.
anticipated. Yeah.
I think your dad, grandma probably could have stole that one, Coach. The one we couldn't guard last week. I think.
Yeah, she probably could have.
So watch the games. Watch the games. Watch what the Blazers did when they're giving up this just crazy 13-0 run coming out of halftime. I mean, Mitch, by the way, my alma mater did get a shout out today during the Blazers game. I'm not sure if anybody was listening to that. Um, Mitch, the Spurs coach who took over for Pop, was an assistant coach at University of Portland before he started back at Stanford. He was an assistant coach at University of Portland. That's where I met him. Was when he was coaching at UP. He was just there a year, then I think he went back down to Stanford, but obviously worked his way from bottom assistant at University of Portland to now the head coach for it should be MVP of the NBA, in my opinion. Wemby is a unicorn. The guy's a freak. He's an alien. He's not of this world. He had what was his stat line today? It was not anything. He had 6 blocks, I think, 3 steal. I mean, it was just like a crazy stat line. But to take over for Pop, that's a tough job, right? I mean, he's done a pretty good job, as has John Shire, as much as people want to give me a hard time because they haven't won in the Final Four. They didn't get to the Final Four this year. Still a Duke fan. I think Coach Willis is a faithful as well. But Elias is coming in right as we're about to shut it down. So don't forget to do your mental training by tomorrow night. And then shh, shh. Elias is here. Stop talking about him. He's here. I already stopped talking about him. Elias, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
He's so confused. That's hilarious. Thanks for joining. Thanks for letting me know you're gonna be late. We were just about to wrap up, and then I saw that you were joining, and I just wanted to say thanks for joining. But Coach Willis, anything you want to say here before we let these good folks go about their days?
Uh,
Are you still at the gym? Are you still up in Washington?
no, I just got back to Oregon. Just got off the highway, met a Starbucks to wake up.
Wake up, wake up.
I think I would say light socket, Houston Rocket, the lint in my pocket, Lakers in 5.
Niggas in fun. Lakers in 5. Okay. Well, we know Lunt loves the Lakers too, but if you didn't know, Lunt also is not a LeBron believer.
Hey, Coach, what are you
Yeah,
guys
Willis.
doing? What are you guys doing with the Blazers? Are you gonna cut a mascot?
We can't afford 2 mascots, bro. Like seriously, the owner just spent 4.5 billion on the team. You think he can afford a late checkout? Like they're gonna save so much money by making the guys get out of the room at 12:30 in the afternoon and just hang out until the game at 7. You think about the budget? Like, come on, John. Like t-shirts, you know how much a t-shirt costs? Like just we can't have these unexpected or I mean, we didn't expect to be in the playoffs. I didn't expect to have to spend $1.1 million on t-shirts.
True.
I don't know, man. I'm sad that the Blazers are the franchise in the state that I was born in. I'm disappointed a little bit. That's why in the 92, when Jordan hit that shot and did the little shoulder shrug, I was a Blazers fan. And then in 1992, Bryson, 1992, Jordan came to town and whooped the Blazers. And I was like, man, I was a Blazers fan. Now I'm a Bulls fan. And so when I was in my teenage years, it was Jordan. I wanted to emulate Scottie Pippen. Like that's how I played, like long arms, getting out in passing lanes. But yeah, the Blazers let me down in 92. If you didn't know, do some research because in 90 and 92, the Blazers made the NBA Finals. Who knows who they lost to in 1990? Who can tell me? Who knows? Young fellas.
Pistons. Pistons.
Elliot, the youngest, the eighth grader coming in clutch. Okay, Elliot, I see you know some history of the NBA. And then in 92, that's when we had a chance. Who can name a player on that team? The Blazers, 92. Got to know at least one.
Drexler.
Elliot's quick on the draw. He knew Drexler. A few of you might have known Drexler. Is there anybody else? Can anybody name one other player that played with Clyde?
Terry Porter.
Navarro?
Terry Porter.
How do you know that?
I know ball.
How do you know Terry Porter? Do you just because he's a Portland
My
guy?
parents, and then he was at one of our games in the winter season.
Hey,
Okay,
Nathan.
okay.
Nathan, do you know where Terry Porter went to college?
Ooh.
I do not know where Terry Porter went to college.
Does anybody know? It's not USC. Anybody know what division he played in college? See a few crickets, a few people yawning, a few people just not making eye contact. Some guys that just don't know their history of ball. Their ball knowledge is mediocre. Division three. He played Division three. Not on the west. Was it Wisconsin? Is that the state? What?
Yes. It's University of Wisconsin, Stevens Point.
Stevens Point, Isaac. How
Isaac Googled that. There ain't no way he fucking knew that. Excuse my language, but there ain't no way.
Hey, I like a guy that's quick on the AI or the Googling, like at least it shows that they're like engaged and they're paying attention. So Division three, Stevens Point, and Terry Porter was the head coach at my alma mater and wasn't as successful. I loved that 92 Blazers team with Porter and Drexler and Jerome Kersey, and Kevin Duckworth, Buck Williams. But Terry Porter as a coach, his last 49 games at UP, his last 49 games as coach in the WCC, the West Coast Conference, he was 1-48. That's rough. That's tough. That's not a lot of wins as a coach. So I wanted to see them do well. Obviously, my alma mater, I don't know if you guys heard this year, we beat Gonzaga. The Pilots beat Gonzaga. Only the second time since when I was playing that's happened. But yeah, Terry Porter struggled coaching in Portland, but he was a good player. Good player. Good job, Nate. You got some that's pretty good basketball knowledge to know two guys off that team. Who can name a third player off the Bulls team? Because I gave you Scottie Pippen. Everybody knows Michael Jordan.
Steve
Who's
Kerr.
got another? Who another name?
Steve Kerr was not on that team.
Oh, my
92.
bad. He joined later. I forgot.
Yep. Who else? Anybody know one of the early guys?
Yeah, they needed more help, so they had to go get another shooter.
Yeah, they had to go find
Horace Grant.
Horace Grant. Yes. Horace Grant. Goggles. Pretty good. Pretty good. Pretty good. Brett Baker. BB. BB. All right. Okay, good job. Thanks for coming, you guys. Hopefully you've been doing some cardio. Hopefully, like I said, it's okay to be chilling like after a workout, like Isaac is on the couch, just propped up, kicking it. It's cool, I get it, but you guys got to get your heart rate up. You got to get some running in this week. You have to. You can't just wait. And you know where this is going. You don't wait to work. You work while you wait. Because if you wait, you get worked by those that have been working while others are waiting. So don't wait. Work while you wait. Work while you wait. Don't wait. And if you're injured, then I get that. So balance that. Chandler's got kind of a bum ankle, so don't push it too hard. But make sure you guys aren't showing up on Friday having not done any running, and it's because it will show. It will show, and you can't hide it. And it's not like we're going to run you into the ground on Friday at practice, but by Sunday, we'll see who has legs still. And those teams that guys start to get in shape, the second, third, that's when we start to peak right about that end of May when we're playing in Seattle. That's where we want to be like dialed in, second leg of this circuit. I know our 16U team had a great weekend and didn't get a lot of love from Hoop Source, but they know they're keeping an eye. So these next tournaments, that 16. What's that, Coach? Hot Mike Willis?
Going to CarMax, Coach. Next stop.
Next stop. Get going. Hip hops. So yeah, just show up ready to go because this is a big weekend too. I know it's not one of the like circuits, but this one we want to show up. We want to make sure that we're representing well. I've been hearing from a lot of you about summer. So I know some of you guys are in, some of you are out, but reach out, let me know. If you don't know, we will go to Vegas and then 2 Portland tournaments, and then we will be at the Max Hoops Elite Basketball School, and then the Pacific Elite Camp. So it's kind of 4 weekends. Start out in Vegas, have a great trip. A lot of the guys that are on this team, you get to meet the guys that are joining just for the summer. Because there's some of you guys that aren't playing in the summer. There's some guys that will be joining that are playing baseball or running track right now. But make sure you or your parents reach out and communicate with me and let me know in, out, or I need a little bit more time to decide, or if you have questions. So those are kind of the options on that. Yes, no, I need more time, or if you have any questions. But CarMax, are you buying a car, Coach Willis? Maybe
Yes. Need to look at another car. So go and do some test driving, Coach.
I can't say I'm a huge fan of car shopping. That's why I just got a Toyota, because they're dependable. They last a long time. All right, guys, have a great one. We'll see you on Tuesday. There is a Zoom call Tuesday. And then on the stop